Hello, nerd and nerd adjacent. I'm Dan, it's day 10, and let's rate Halloween candy in terms of deliciousness as well as tradability. Okay, I'm not a kid. I haven't been legitimately trick-or-treating in a very long time. However, I do hold a lot of memories of trading and swapping candy with other kids, trying to get more pieces of what I wanted and less pieces of things that I absolutely hated. So this is my unofficial, unresearched guide to the best candy swamps, which is heavily influenced by my own personal palate and the candy that I was able to find in the store at the last second. I've broken this down into 5 categories of candies. Let's call them tiers. Tier 1, cream of the crop. The best that you ever get. These are the things you're trading for. These are the things that you want. You're trying to gather these things. Those are your favorite candies, whether or not they're popular or not. They already are tier 1, just that's how it is. Tier 2 are good candies that you love to hold on to, but if you could get a tier 1 candy for a tier 2 candy, you probably would unless you're super into varieties. These are things that you could use to sweeten the deal for later trades. If you know you're using a lower tier item and you're like, I'll just throw one of these in. It might bump the whole trade and get it to actually get accepted. I also put any candies of high value that I don't necessarily like, but know other people do, into tier 2. And then we have tier 3, you know, the candies that you wouldn't mind having around, but they're not necessarily that great. They're just okay. These are ones that you use a lot for trading. You know, they'll sweeten the deal, especially if you're giving like a large quantity for a smaller quantity. But this is the kind of candy you'd kind of pawn off on your rents. And then tier 4, any candy you really want to get rid of that you don't want to go home with. Like, not that it's necessarily bad candy, but it's not up your alley, you don't like them, but they're not necessarily super popular. Someone out there loves that candy and you want to find that person and trade with them for stuff that you like. And of course, I'd like to say category 5 or tier 5 is candy you just like give away because you absolutely don't want to see it again. I can tell you right now, I do not have any tier 5 candy with me. I think I have 3 and up, tiers 1, 2, and 3. To get a bag of like tier 5 candy actually costs a significant amount of money that I don't really have lying around, so I didn't. Some people hate candy corn. I'm not one of them. I think the little waxy corn-colored kernels are made out of high fructose corn syrup, which is made out of corn, and thus the imitation is actually related to the original. But I think that's just neat. So, tier 5, stuff like, for me, Smarties, you know, chalky little hard candies, not really good for anything. Any flavor of the miniature Tootsie Rolls that I don't like, tier 5. Tier 4, any candy that you really just don't want to go home with. I'm not a fan of Tootsie Rolls in general. I want to get rid of those. Any flavor, get rid of. I would maybe hold on to the vanilla ones and make them tier 3, but very situational on the rest of what's in my bucket. And then from there on up, we can go through. I got a little cauldron here. Yes, I was the kid who carried like weird stuff instead of like a bag or a pillowcase. Like I was like, Mom, this year I'd like to carry a head because like I'm going as this like, you know, I'm going as Jason, so I'd like to carry a head with me, Mom. Is that cool? And then we'd paper mache a head. It'd be really cool. Shout outs to my mom for dealing with my Halloween antics since I was a child. But yeah, so I'll go through the bucket, and as I pull stuff up, I'm kind of just gonna put my own spin on it. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. There are some controversial choices that will be coming out of this bucket. If you're civil about it, there is a comment section down below, but if you're gonna go to the comment section, please like hit the subscribe button and then ring the bell. So you know when I put things on the internet while you're down there, you know, All the other stuff, I'll say it later, it's great. Cause I feel like you should do that if you're gonna engage on the channel. But if you don't, you're just missing out. So we'll reach into the bucket. It's fun. I pull out a mini little Twix bar. Twix for me is a tier 3 candy. I don't hate it. They're pretty okay. You know, they're chocolate with caramel. I know, right? We're gonna fight the caramel thing down in the bottom. But they're chocolate and caramel over like a hard cookie. You're good. You know, you have the right versus left Twix thing. I don't mind them. I wouldn't mind eating them. My mom likes these a lot more, so I often take them home to her if I can't get rid of them. But they're tier 3 for me, solidly. Next, we have a little Heath Bar. It's a milk, chocolate, and toffee bar. Shout out to Heath, one of my actual friends who's named Heath. Tier 3 again, they're not bad, they're not good. They're not my preferred candy, so I try to pawn them off, but I wouldn't mind eating one. Going from there, we have Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, tier 2 for me. I'm not the biggest fan of peanut butter, to be completely honest. I know these hold a lot of value. So, tier 2, I would probably hold on to a couple of these to give some big swaps for categories of things that I really like. Also, these are great for trading for people for full size, because usually houses don't give out full size Reese's cups. They'll give out like candy bars, but these don't usually come in the full, 2 or 3 pack. So this is a good swappable item for full size candy bars, or at least, I don't know, what they were in the mid 2000s. Moving on from there, we have Snickers. This is another tier 2 candy for me. I don't actually like Snickers. I'm not a big fan of peanuts, and thus, I don't actually like these. I prefer Milky Ways. Milky Ways are a tier 1 candy for me. In case you're wondering, I don't have any. It just had Snickers. But obviously these are really well loved, so they're a high tradable item. Tier 2. From there, we've got Whoppers. Some malted milk balls come in a little pack of 3. The boringest shade of beige that you could ever find. These are a tier 3 candy because I knew a lot of people who really liked these. Your mileage may vary. These could easily be a tier 4 candy depending on just your neighborhood and everything. These are fun. I like putting these in milkshakes. That's always nice. But yeah, so yeah, that's about where they are. Okay. Almond Joys, which I will also consider Mounds to be roughly in the same category. Almond Joys are coconut, almonds, and chocolate. Mounds are dark chocolate and coconut. They're made by the same company. I'm pretty sure they're made in the exact same molds. They only switch out the stuff. I don't like coconut. I don't. So this makes it a tier 2 or 3 depending on who you know and what they kind of trade for. I don't like them. They can hold a lot of value depending on if you like them. These are also my mom's favorite top 5 of my mom's favorite candy. So I usually just brought these home to her. It's a nice way to be nice to the rents. Moving on. Okay, classic. We have a little classic Hershey's chocolate bar. It's just chocolate. It's just a little 4-brick chocolate thing. Tier 2, classic, would eat it. Trade it for something higher, probably, but just a good all-around classic candy bar. 3 Musketeers. 3 Musketeer bars are between tier 1 and 2 for me, and that is dependent on if I have other tier 1 things that I like more, but I do, in fact, love nougat. And this is all nougat, and that's nice. So tier 1, tier 2 for me. And then Starburst. So this is the only fruity candy I have. All the packs were like chocolate based. I couldn't, unless I wanted to buy a 300 item like Child's Play with like Dots and Smarties and Tootsie Rolls and other candies. I didn't want to buy a giant bag, so I didn't buy it. It was also really expensive. Starbursts are the only fruity ones that I have, and also the way that I do my Starburst trades is probably a little bit strange. I like to open the package to see what color's inside. I got 2 yellows. That sucks. Now, on a trading basis, if I would have just traded the package, I probably would have got a better deal than if I had 2 yellows. I like knowing what flavors I have because there is a flavor hierarchy of Starburst, which I will go into right now. Strawberry, cherry, tied up there for first, really close neck and neck race, but then orange, then lemon at the bottom. But in this package, I got 2 pinks, which is a better deal for me to keep, but I wouldn't know if I traded that away. So there goes that. And then last, but certainly not least, my number 1 tier 1 candy, a Kit Kat bar. I love these. Mwah. I love these. These are still my favorite go-to. These are the most, I mean, I have other favorite candies, but they're weird. These are the things you're gonna get in your Halloween basket. And that's all of the candies that I actually purchased. There were some duplicates, like some came with additional Reese's Cups or Snickers or Kit Kats. But I wasn't gonna buy a lot of candy because I live in an apartment building. We don't really have trick-or-treaters. And also, pandemic. So I didn't want to buy a ton of candy. And all of this stuff here, I can either pawn off on people that I know, or I can keep for baking and other things like that. Other candy that I love that I did not have includes Skittles. Big fan of the fruit-based ones. I'll take any sucker. I love a Blow Pop. I love a Tootsie Pop. I just love Dum Dums. Ugh, Dum Dums. I actually buy my Dum Dums in 1-pound boxes, and because you can buy them in specific flavors. So you can just buy blue raspberry if you're into that. So, you know, it's super fun. I think Halloween's a great time for you to learn what kind of candy you like. And also, I straight up will admit, I was part of the reason why our house got a reputation for giving out good candy, because we'd give out full-size candy, but we'd also do like little treat bags of like fun exotic candies, because I was like, do you want some candy from Japan? It's pretty dope. And then getting flavors like mango and lychee and other things that were a little less common in the States, and giving people, you know, more candy to try in a little bag, which means you might find a foreign candy that you actually enjoy. And that was always enjoyable for me. But again, I was and continue to be a weird kid. And your mileage may vary when it comes to giving out less traditional snacks. If you watched the Target Run video, I did in fact go to town on alternative Halloween treats. I think it's totally chill to give like toys, like plastic toys and stuff like that, especially if you don't want to give out actual candy. But I'm tired of getting bags of pretzels. I say this is the echoes of me as a child. I love pretzels. I do not want pretzels on Halloween. I'm gonna straight up tell you that. I don't care how festive the package is. I hate them. Straight up would rather get candy corn than pretzels, and that is a straight up unpopular opinion. So that's all here. If you like what I do here, please give it a thumbs up, and then while you're down there, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you know when I put things on the internet. And drop a comment down below and engage with what is your least and most favorite type of Halloween candy. Is there anything that you absolutely love that everyone else despises? I really want to know. And just remember, I'm a LARPer. Just darker.